G'day guys, how you going? I've been meaning to do this episode for some time now, and look, the thumbnail probably a big bloody dead giveaway on what this episode is going to be about. But look, I've had a lot of people kind of reach out and comment and say, where the bloody hell has your caravan gone? So I thought it's about time that I kind of addressed it with you guys, let you know what's happened, let you know what we're doing in the future, and also too, at the end of the video, I'm going to run through a few tips if you're looking to buy a brand new caravan. Let's dive straight in, and I'll let you guys know why we sold our bloody van. Yeah, so first up, just a recap of what caravan we had. So in 2020, when COVID hit, like a lot of Aussies, we rushed out and bought a brand new caravan, and we had the On The Move was the brand, Traxx Series 2 off-roader with the family bunk. It was a 20'6" in length, and we had all the fruit put on the van. So we had 300 amps of lithium, we had 3 water tanks plus a grey water tank, so 4 water tanks on board. We had all the gear and had the van loaded up, ready to do a lot of trips around the country. We paid about $105,000 for it back in 2020, just before the prices started to increase. That same van now would be worth about $135 because of all those price increases. So that's a recap on the van itself. So cut to the chase, why did we sell our perfectly bloody good brand new bloody caravan? The short answer is finding the time to get all the family together with time off work and all those sorts of things, and getting away. And in the 18 months that we had the van, I think we done about 6 or 8 trips. They're all on YouTube if you haven't seen them. And with 2 growing teenagers, a 15 and a 17-year-old, as time went on, they weren't as excited to come out and travel in the van as well. And then we were kind of sitting there with the prospect of this big, heavy, long caravan that's suitable for a family, and we didn't necessarily need this long, heavy van to suit 4 people. So we had to reconsider, and then obviously we then start looking at where can we direct the funds from the sale of the van, and eventually that's what we did do. If you've got growing teenagers and you're looking to buy a caravan, I'd consider getting a smaller van, just that suits a couple or 2 people, and if the kids want to come out and travel, throw them in a swag or a small tent, and then in a couple of years down the track, you've then got a van that you can go then travel the country with just 2 people, and you're not stuck with a family bunk van or have to sell the van and get maybe a smaller one. So what does that mean? Are we going out and looking to buy another caravan? Downsizing, 2-berth, a smaller van. What I will say is, watch this space. As you would have noticed though, with the sale of the van, I have been doing a few more boys trips with cousin Mick, flying up from bloody fabulous Victoria, and it's been a bit easier for him and I to get time off work than with the family. So that's why we've been doing a lot of these boys trips away to some of these epic 4-wheel drive destinations. They are still going to keep hitting the channel, guys, but as I said, watch this space with regarding another van or something else. I think something could be in the pipeline, so yeah, keep your eyes out for that one. Tip number 1 would be set yourself a budget. So prices have gone through the roof. I think it's just absolutely absurd, the cost of caravans for what you get in terms of the technology that's involved in producing a caravan compared to, say, a car or a 4-wheel drive. But, you know, to get a good van these days, if you're looking for a fully equipped off-road van, you're looking way north of 100 grand, and you can spend, you know, 200 grand. It's just absurd. So first of all, budget. How much do you want to spend, and stick to it. Tip number 2 is going to be, what do you want to do with your van? So some people might want to buy a caravan and do a half a dozen trips per year to a big 4 caravan park on the east coast of Oz. Or you might be wanting to do a little bit more travel. You might want to do free camps, or you might be buying a van to do a complete lap around Australia. So I think that really is a question you ask yourself. What are you buying the van for? Is it a weekender? Is it a every couple of months? Is it sort of free camping, or is it you want to go off-road, do the Gibb River Road, or head to the tip, or wherever it might be? So work out why are you buying the van and where do you want to take the van and how often are you going to use the van. That's my tip number 2, work that out. So tip number 3, as I mentioned before very briefly, is consider buying not a family bunk van if you've got older teenage kids. As I mentioned before, there might come a time in just 1, 2 or 3 years where they're not wanting to come with you. Then you're not stuck with a longer and heavier van, and you can easily get away just with a 2-berth van, and you don't have to maybe sell the bigger one and buy a smaller one. Tip number 4, do all your research before you walk into a dealership or go to a caravan show. The reason for that is if you can get educated on what's available and get an idea of pricing when you go into a dealership or go to a caravan show, you're going to be more educated on caravans itself, especially if you're doing this for the first time like we were. So research your floor plans, research what are the standard inclusions with the van? Is it built for off-road? Does it have water tanks? What type of 12-volt system is standard? Then you need to take into consideration what are the non-standard features that you may want on your van. So that might be additional solar or additional batteries in the van to run it off-grid. It might be dust suppression systems on the roof. It might be, whatever it might be. Do all that research before you go into the dealership or the caravan show. Get yourself really educated and kind of really nut down what type of van you want. So before you've gone in there, you've got all those questions answered. And you've got it nutted down maybe to a couple of particular brands that fall within your budget. Then you can then go and make a more informed decision when you're physically looking at the vans itself. You already know what you want. So that's a pretty big tip right there. Tip number 5 is be aware of the weights of your caravan. So get an understanding of what a tear weight is, ATM, your payload, tow ball weight. All these things are very, very important and also could affect with what car you might already have to tow your van, or you may have to upgrade your car. So another weight to be considerate of is the GCM, which is the gross combination mass. So that is the total weight that your car can weigh, your caravan can weigh, and all the gear that you have in your car, people, food, water, drinks, all those sorts of things, and in your caravan as well. So that can really dictate to what you can possibly buy with the car that you've got. So be aware of all those weights. Thanks for watching, guys. Bit of an update on what's been happening, and I hope you got something out of those tips if you are looking to buy a brand new caravan for the very first time. Again, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the episode, and subscribe if you haven't already, if this is what you're into. And we've got some epic content coming up. Keep your eyes peeled. In the meantime, maybe check out one of these videos here, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.